Hello folks, Simon here from Simon's Reviews, and today I am bringing you the Samsung M8 32-inch monitor. Now, although this was a business purchase for us, we did buy it ourselves, and as such, this is not in any way a sponsored video. Now, when you first discover this monitor, you may be inclined to think, well, it's a little bit costly for a 32-inch screen with a VA panel. However, it is important to understand that this monitor does pack in a load of additional features, and if these features are going to be useful to you, then it's definitely worthy of some consideration. And if you don't want to watch the whole of this video, let me just summarise straight away by telling you that overall I have been very impressed with this monitor. However, there are a couple of niggles that stop it from being perfect. But first off, let me just run through the technical specifications here. So as I mentioned, this is a 32-inch screen with a VA panel. The resolution is 4K and 60 Hz is the refresh rate. Both HDR10 and HDR10 Plus are available here, and the response time is 4 milliseconds. The viewing angle is a maximum 178 degrees, that's both horizontal and vertical. Unfortunately, despite being a monitor, there is no AMD FreeSync support or G-Sync support on offer here. As far as the rest of the hardware, our monitor is in the white colour, however a number of other interesting colours are available, and in terms of connections, interestingly, there is no standard DisplayPort or HDMI connections here. However, there is a micro HDMI connection included with a cable for micro HDMI to standard HDMI, and that micro HDMI connection is 2.0 compliant. Also included is USB Type-C along with Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 4.2. The monitor, as you can see, it does have a very thin bezel. I think the whole overall design is very attractive, and there are some inbuilt speakers, which I will talk a little bit more about later on. There is a stand with some adjustments, however not a whole lot. There is quite a large size external power brick. And the monitor also has Alexa support. There is an included remote controller along with the battery, so this is all good to go. You can also set up your smartphone to control the monitor if preferred. And the beady-eyed amongst you may have noticed this little camera up here. This is also included in the package, but you don't have to install it if you don't need it. However, again, talk a little bit more about that further in the review. Right, so as I mentioned, this may be considered to be quite a costly 32-inch monitor. However, on top of that full 4K HDR screen, you are also getting smart TV features here, even though this isn't a television. It's not a television because it doesn't have any kind of coaxial or aerial connection, so you cannot pick up standard terrestrial or digital channels, but you can stream a lot of content through your internet connection. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the features, let me just give you my overall thoughts on the quality of the display, which I am very happy with. Again, this is a VA panel. The peak brightness here is 400 nits, so you are not going to be getting that same kind of quality that you would with an OLED display. But hey, as a monitor and not a TV, it is arguable that a VA panel is preferred. However, what was a little bit of a letdown are the inbuilt speakers. Unfortunately, they do sound quite tinny, as is often the case with monitor speakers. They never seem to impress. Unfortunately, with the Samsung M8, that is not a trend that is going to be broken. However, Samsung have also included their adaptive sound technology here, which when enabled, it is optional, but when enabled, the sound and the volume will adjust automatically to the environment that the monitor finds itself in. But ultimately, if this monitor is going to be some kind of focus for a media center, then you will definitely want to add in some additional audio, perhaps a soundbar or other speakers. I just don't think that the inbuilt speakers here are going to cut it for that purpose. However, where this monitor truly excels is in its versatility. If you are familiar with Samsung smart monitors, then you will know what I mean by that. This even takes things up a level, which I'll explain in a moment. So let's start with media, because when you think of the phrase smart monitor, you probably think of the phrase smart TV. And indeed, all of your streaming apps are built directly into this monitor, accessible by the remote control or your smartphone. So Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, all of that good stuff, plus a load of others, are installed and good to go straight out of the box. In terms of Workspace, you can do a whole lot here. First of all, you can connect the monitor directly to a Windows 10 or Windows 11 PC without having to use any cables. You can literally stream your computer screen directly to the monitor, and you can even connect a mouse and keyboard via Bluetooth to the monitor. So if your computer is in a completely different room, as long as it is connected to the same network, you can just stream, as I say, directly to the monitor here. Or if you don't want to do that, you can use Microsoft Office 365 on the monitor, as long as you have a subscription to that software. There is the possibility for web browsing. There are connections for your Mac. There's just a whole host of stuff here you can use this monitor for in terms of work and business. And also included is this camera/webcam, which in the context of webcams, which tend to have a bit of a bad rep in terms of how good a quality a picture they produce, this is really impressive. It did surprise me. It is a 1080p camera, and yes, you will want to use it in a brightly lit room because of the smaller sensor size, but as long as you do that, then I think, like me, you will be happy with the quality of the picture. It comes with this small adapter here so that it literally clips onto the back of the monitor if that's how you want to use it. However, there is also a USB-C cable in the box if you want to connect this to a computer. I don't see why you couldn't do that. And there is a privacy cover for the lens that literally just snaps on and off. However, so does the whole camera, so you don't need to have this on the monitor when you don't want to use it. And finally, there is the play feature. Now, this is going to work best if you have a good internet connection along with an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. But you do not need any consoles, okay? I do not own an Xbox. In fact, I only own a PlayStation 5. So using my PS5 DualSense controller here, I have a whole library of Xbox games at my disposal, which can be streamed directly through the cloud, and it's as if I'm playing them on a console right next to the screen. So the fact that you have all of these smart features functional on a 4K display with HDR10 does start to put that higher cost in a more justifiable context. However, as I mentioned, it isn't perfect, and the speakers in particular were quite a disappointment for me. I'm not happy with the quality of those, and I do not recommend using them if you have another option. And although this isn't a big deal, it's a little bit annoying that the operating system does take a few seconds to load. So even when the display first comes on after you turn the power on, the menu isn't going to be navigated very smoothly with the remote controller. Just wait a few extra seconds before attempting to use it. Once you get used to that, it's not really a big deal, but it is still a bit of a negative, so I wanted to bring it to your attention. But apart from those couple of niggles, I am very happy with our Samsung M8. The picture quality is very, very good for a VA panel, and all of the additional features just provide so much flexibility that it does everything that I need. So folks, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope it helped you. Have a great day.